Okay, welcome back. We did say we'll make it very brief because we've got some more conversation coming your way. Very interesting one at that. For those who are geeks, for those who like technology, for those who are keen to see Nigeria move to the 21st century and do well in it, this is a conversation for you. This is Demo Africa we're talking about. It's one of the flagship initiative of Lions Africa and aims to connect African startups to the global ecosystem. Demo Africa is the place where the most innovative companies from African countries get a platform to launch their products and announce to Africa and the world what they have developed. It's a great pleasure to have in the studio Mr. Harry, ED of Demo Africa. Good morning and welcome.
Thank you.
And then we've got Chineye Mba Uzoko, member LOC Demo Africa. Great to have you here. And then on this side, we've got Yele Okeremi, who is the chairman LOC Demo Africa. Great to have you here.
It's nice to be here again.
First, let me start with you because you got me really excited on this topic of Demo Africa and the things that you're doing. I'm always very excited when it's to do with technology. What is Demo Africa? What is it about?
Well, basically what Demo Africa is about is the way you said it. We have young startups, and when we say startups, they are young people who have novel ideas that each of them is capable of changing the way people do things in the world. And by the way, this is Demo Africa. It's important to know that they are all Africans. So we have 40 Africans, 40 African companies, let me put it that way, African teams. So who will be coming in the room? We have venture capitalists, we have investors, we have financiers, we have fund managers as well, because the challenge is you have a good idea. A lot of times everybody has a good idea, but if your good idea doesn't get to meet appropriate funding, it becomes a pipe dream sometimes. So they do their pitches. Each of them has an equal opportunity, 6 minutes on the stage in the room. Everybody's there. They say how their ideas are going to change the world. They also say how much they think they need to take the idea to the next level. Of course, they will be scrutinized, and we expect that they get funding. So essentially what we are doing is bringing Silicon Valley to Nigeria.
Is this the first of its kind?
In Nigeria, yes, the first of its kind. Demo Africa has held twice in Kenya before. The past 2 years, we're bringing it to Nigeria for
What
the
was
first
the
time.
results that they saw there? Was there any particular product or infrastructure developed by any individual that then was launched? And
Quite a number of companies have been launched in Demo Africa, actually, quite a number of them. It's the same pattern every year, 40 startups every year. And in fact, there are, I'm sure, Claudia, you know about Evernote, for example. Yeah. Evernote is a product of Demo. Absolutely. So you see, when you begin to hear these kind of things, now Evernote is an American company, but you realize just as well as I do that today the world is a lot flatter, and yes, we may not be competitive in certain areas, but in software and technology, everybody has equal opportunities, and everybody sees it. Even the Americans have seen that, and that's the more reason why Demo is coming to Africa and is coming to Nigeria. So we are believing, and we say that yes, the next Facebook, the next Evernote, the next Google
will come from
might
here.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, but certainly there are challenges, there are hurdles to cross. What would you say are the challenges facing tech startups in Africa and Nigeria?
Okay, maybe I should speak about Africa in general, because you see, if you look at most of the companies, most of the startups that are coming up, are actually driven by a new generation, a very young generation of people who believe in creating value from themselves. You know, you and I probably, okay, let me speak about myself, but the education that we were given was for us to go to school, learn how to speak English, and get a very good job in a bank. Yeah. Entrepreneurship is something that a lot of us picked it on the way. So it's not something that was inculcated in us. But these new guys, they have the belief, they have the vision of actually creating opportunities for themselves and for other people through entrepreneurship. So there's that youth that a lot of us, a lot of the older people who have the money fear. Yeah. So these guys have good products, but they cannot connect with finance. That is the biggest problem.
So
And that is
finding the
biggest-
funding to make it happen and bring it to fruition or bring it to reality
Correct.
is the key issue.
That is the
So
key challenge.
in terms of Chine, in terms of then finding the venture capitalist or even people who are not venture capitalists but just looking at investing in opportunities, or they've got some liquid cash that they want to use and use it for good causes, how do you bring them together with these startups?
Okay, I think it's always important to put this within a a larger historical context, because things don't happen accidentally. Things happen as a result of deliberate actions that are taken, policies that are put in place to create opportunity. The white people speak a lot about serendipity, things happening as a result of some of time and of forces. In Africa, particularly in Nigeria, I think we speak a lot about God and faith, and
Yes.
it is well, and it will always be well, etc., etc. I think what all those things are trying to capture is a certain dynamic, which is that when you have a concept that has the ability to translate into some kind of social, economic, communal impact, it has to come in contact with a number of other factors that enable it to come alive, similar to good seed landing in good soil and actually having the rains coming, and then it begins to sprout. So we have this massive growth of entrepreneurship across this continent, because the continent has been ripe for it. The soil is good, brilliant young people, the youngest population of a continent in the entire world, and they're confronted with with good things, and the good thing that they have are problems. So they've got problems, they've got challenges in the environment that need to be solved. And rather than walk away from those problems, or maybe even travel away from those problems to other countries, like my generation probably has done, they want to solve those problems. They're not traveling away, they're saying, how can we solve these problems? And they start to come up with these ideas, really innovative ideas. So on one hand, you have people trying to deal with reality and trying to create a new reality for themselves in the continent in which they live. And on the other side, you have people who have perhaps made enough have gathered resources from an earlier generation. The job of Demo Africa and things like Demo Africa is to bring that connection, to increase the possibility for these people to meet and to connect and to start new things together. Because you have the money, they don't know where to get the ideas. You've got the ideas, they don't know how to get the money. Mm-hmm. And so if you think about a young person in your village, because the genius doesn't live in cities, you're not going to find him sitting in some urban area, smiling, happy, and eating cornflakes. He's going to be walking from his house in the village to his school, and he's going to be asking himself, how can this be easier for everyone in my community? Mm-hmm. And on the basis of that, he's looking for the connection to the money to translate his concept into something as a commercial idea.
So
and that's really what it is.
You provide such platforms.
Exactly. This is precisely what Demo Africa is. It's an opportunity for us, and this is like taking it to a continental level. You have, like I said, the youngest continent in the world, 900 million people, 60% of them under the age of 25. So you're going to be asking yourself, what are these people going to do? Okay. Now they're using their intelligence, their brains, their intellect, and applying them to problems that are in the environment, and they're saying, find us the resources so that we can climb. Okay. And this is what Demo Africa is.
Let me quickly ask you, Yole, in terms of opportunities to develop technology, what are the areas that people should be looking at and finding solution? I know a lot of people will tell you, if you find a need, just beneath it, you will find plenty of money waiting for you. So what are the areas that we need to take a serious look at?
Very good question indeed. But I'm sorry to say that nobody in the world can give you an answer to that. Because, and I have said this a number of times, you see, when people talk about software, there are no local software anymore. Every software is global. However, software is built on the basis of the question you have asked, a perception of a challenge. Now, every challenge poses as a local challenge. Somebody feels the pain. And so that's why pretty much in every area of life, I mean, in Nigeria, what do we have today? So we have security challenges. We have people who just want some efficiency. We want a smarter government, for example. We want smarter banks. We have communication challenges. So pretty much all these challenges, I can think of the ones that come my way. There are some that are lower down the rung that I can never see because of my position. There are some that are higher.
Okay, so in terms of the areas that people, or the ideas that people are presenting to Demo Africa, what kind of ideas are people bringing to you?
Okay, I mean, first of all, let me share with you the process. So the applications will open around April, and
April of next year, or is opened already?
Every year. I mean,
all right.
Demo Africa. This is the third edition of Demo Africa. Demo has been holding in the United States for 22 years, and we just follow pretty much the same model. So the applications open up around April. It's online, and what it says is that if you are an intelligent person, you have a good concept using technology, because remember, this is a technology launch pad. So using technology, if you've got a great idea, we give you the requirements, because we have come to one realization. It's not about building smart programmers or smart code anymore. We want to develop smart businesses, because it is in businesses that the wealth of nations and economies emerge. So all these conditions are there. You need to have a company, you need to have a structure, you need to have a concept to put all. So the applications come. And then there's a screening committee, which is pretty much of a global thing, all over the world. Judges who are very experienced technology people, business analysts, and people that understand social impact. And then they scrutinize all this. This year we had about 450, about almost 500 applications. And this body
were presented.
That are presented.
So who's going to be the winner now?
No, just a second. It's not about being a winner.
No, who's going to get?
This is not a competition about being the way we used to do it. So what happens is that all those 400, 500 applications are scrutinized by this body of judges all over the world. And then we come up with 40 based on the conception of the ones that have reasonable social impact, capability to scale and become very major ideas. And then all the 40 come and present. So it's not about somebody winning. It is about all the 40.
So everybody will present their ideas.
Everybody will present, and hopefully.
What is the website? He mentioned that people can log on to what website?
It's the website.
It's a www.demo-africa.com.
Okay.
That's a website. But
Demo-africa.com. Okay,
Yeah.
so all the information will be there.
Correct.
Okay, we have to wrap up, but make your point very quickly.
I just wanted to say that it's actually not really ideas what come a demo. It's actually, these are real products that people are already using.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are like some of the products that investors now will look at and actually put money in them and bet on them.
Okay, so what should we expect this year? What should we expect this year from Demo Africa?
Honestly, since we started, my heart has been pounding because I can't wait for these days to come. There's Africa is like, this is where the next generation of innovation is going to come out of. It's going to come from this continent, and Demo represents the best opportunity for us to identify one of those companies that's going to scale. Our dream is that we will see someone who we can tell a life story that is a transformative life story, and it replicates itself across the continent, because technology, Africa, its ethos, its culture, its history, everything has come to this point where it's actually the place where technology is going to have the greatest impact and the greatest opportunity to transform. So we know from Demo, we're going to get a winner, for sure.
We got to go. Final word, and that's it.
Well, my final words, I will say that once again we are about to prove that we are black, we are not stupid. Africa does have capability to solve problems that face us as Africans, and indeed problems that face the world altogether. Absolutely. That's the first thing that I will say. And I think in Demo, we'll do it again.
Okay, demo-africa.com. If you want to find out any more about this, just go to the website, and the gentleman here, they can attest to the fact that this has happened all around the world. Nigeria is experiencing it now, and there's that opportunity for every young Nigerian who has ideas to develop it into a product that can then get the funding that is required through Demo Africa. I want to say thank you very much, Yaleo Kerame, who's the chairman LOC Demo Africa. Thank you very much for coming on Sunrise this morning, and Chineye Mba Uzoko, member of LOC Demo Africa, and Harry, who is the ED Demo Africa. Thank you very much. Gentlemen, it's great talking to you this morning. We wish you the very best, and we'll be looking out to hear those people who are being funded through Demo Africa. Sunrise is taking a short break. When we come back, more conversation coming your way. Don't go away.